Welcome to our podcast, and welcome to Popcorn, a podcast for film fans and entertaining stories. Ranging from celebrity interviews, stories, panels and more, we take you behind the scenes in the world of entertainment. Season 3 of our podcast is here. Welcome to Popcorn. Today we talk to Donna Hardway. It has been said she was one of the extras that worked on the Wizard of Oz MGM movie with Judy Garland in 1939. To date, there has not been any costume with her name on it that has surfaced. She was a special guest at Chesterton's Wizard of Oz Festival for many years. April 19, 2006 was when Aaron recorded this interview with Donna. She was born April 2, 1933. On November 12, 2008, Donna passed away. She will be missed and we will never forget her and her stories of working with the Munchkins. We love you, Donna, from all us at the Popcorn Podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Aaron Passantine with FamilyFilmsProductions.com, and I'm very pleased to welcome Donna Stewart-Hardway, and I'm very pleased to have her as the very first person on my website that has worked on the Wizard of Oz movie. So I'm very honored to have her here today. Hello, Donna.
Hello, Aaron. How are you?
I hope that you're doing well. I'm just fine. Okay. Well, for my first question, how did you end up getting all the way to California and being a part of this wonderful movie?
Well, the question is, how did I get in West Virginia? Because I was born in California.
Okay.
I was born in Glendale Physician Surgeon Hospital, but never lived there. I was taken home from the hospital to a home in Hollywood. My father was born there, and so was I.
Okay.
So that was home to me. It was kind of like a village almost. When my dad was a kid, he said that there were sidewalks and there were the pavements where automobiles were not paved yet. In fact, he saw the first cars when they began to build automobiles.
Yes. Amazing. So much was changing at that time at the
things I've seen.
Yes. So much like the turn of the century almost for some people, I think. So, yes. Now, when you ended up getting onto the set of the Wizard of Oz at the very first time and you saw the Munchkin Land set and really the things that surrounded it, what were you thinking?
How did I get into this mess?
Yes.
I got behind my mother and held on to her dress and wouldn't come out from behind her.
Oh, boy.
I was absolutely terrified. I had been on sets before, but never anything closely approximating the size of the Munchkin set.
Wow.
And the little people were all about my size. I was 6 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So some were a little taller and were a little shorter. But they had wrinkles, some of the women did. But they were children in my head, And,
Yes.
But they didn't look like any children I'd ever seen. And there were, of course, whiskers, which most of that was fake. I'm sure some of the gentlemen had whiskers underneath, but they had lots of makeup on and fancy mustaches and beards and hair that curled from the top of their head onto their forehead.
Wow.
And it was just bizarre. It was like I had closed my eyes and awakened on another planet.
Wow. Yes.
Very scary.
Yes, I'm sure. Wow. I think that even now, as the years go by and people, when they watch that movie or think of that movie, I don't think that they can actually never comprehend what it was like to be involved or to be in it like you and so many of the others. So,
bizarre, to say the least, because I had no experience in my life as a child actress that closely approximated anything I was seeing or hearing. They had these huge Klieg lights, which were new because that is what they had to have in the way of brightness to accommodate Technicolor.
yes.
And those lights were so hot that it was like standing next to the sun. You felt as though you were going to melt.
Wow. Amazing. I think for me, when I see it, and of course other movies not pertaining to that, but if they were done at that time, I think for most people that generally don't know the technical side of films and things, it's very hard to tell that when you guys were in that movie, or if it were somebody else and something like that with bright lights like that, I think it's very hard to tell that you guys were literally really sweating and very hot during that. You all pulled it off very well.
I think a sideline, which is kind of yucky when you think about it, but the clothing that we all wore was not wash and wear. And many of the pieces of clothing that the little people wore, as well as the main stars, particularly the lions, were heavy material. And you couldn't tell, particularly these little people were adults, and so they sweat like an adult.
Wow.
And so, how would you like to have had the cleaner's concession for this?
Oh, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like it. Wow.
They had to hand clean the lion's costume every night. And I remember Bert Lahr following scenes when they would say cut, he would fall down on the ground and would say, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And he would be pulling at this lion because it wasn't just a real lion. It was made of lion skin. And to be under those Klieg lights, and for even a very few minutes, was torture.
Wow. Thank you for sharing these stories.
Without exception, anyone who has ever been in a film before, this is the most difficult film we have ever had misfortune to be. But it was all new. The technology was new. The music and the voices that were done by Alfie, who was in charge of it. This was cutting edge because they had to make the music and the voices sound like other worlds because it looked like another world. It was.
Yes.
He had gone from Kansas to a country or a place called Oz.
That's right.
And it was not of this world. And so all of the technology that was used to make this film, I didn't appreciate it when I was a kid. But now that I'm older and I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people before they passed on about the filming of this movie and the aficionados that we have today.
Yes.
Oz was a miracle. a bona fide miracle. And Judy wasn't a child, but Judy wasn't an adult. But Judy was what made the movie tick.
That's right.
She was magic. And I really honestly think someplace inside, talk about sitting lost, I think she really believed in Over the Rainbow, because it was the only way she was going to get 47 years into her life.
Wow.
It showed.
Yes.
You can look at her face, her eyes, the joy that she had, and she was so good.
Yes. Now, I know that of her being good to everyone, especially during the time when The Wizard of Oz, is very evident and special, because I know one story, and maybe you can mention it, because I'm sure that you were there. I'm sure you knew the time so many years ago when, I don't know if it was a certain holiday or Christmas, but she came to the set one day and brought a basket or some kind of box of candy and gave it to every one of you wonderful munchkins on for something she was doing, or a party or something. So maybe you can mention about what happened with that.
I knew that occurred.
Yes.
But I didn't take part in it. It was only the little people.
Okay.
We were the stepchildren. You see, the gentleman who was in charge and had a contract with MGM, he was able to find 124 little people, and he even had to go to Europe to find some of them. Many of the people, or at least some of the people on the set, didn't speak English well. But MGM had touted this as the Munchkin, and they called them midgets then. That is not politically correct anymore. They want to be called little people. But there's a vast difference between a dwarf and a midget. A midget is a perfectly formed human being that just didn't reach their height. Whereas, and that's called a pituitary.
Yes.
The dwarf is a genetic illness, and their body is not quite the same dimension. It's a little bit off, a little bit heavier. But they all want to be called little people. And it was MGM who made it known that these were all little people, or midgets. So the children were not included, and we were kept quite separate most of the time from the little people, primarily because of language and perhaps the inability to resist teasing us because we were kids.
Yes. Wow.
But I do remember them being given the candy, and then also, I believe it was on Judy's birthday, that they all lined up at her trailer and were given pictures of Judy autographed by her. But again, we were not included.
Oh well.
At least I was.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'm sure hopefully you had a chance, or with some of the others, to spend a little time with her maybe, or to...
Well, we were neighbors. Where she lived and where I lived wasn't more than a mile apart.
Oh.
He really lived maybe 3 blocks from me. He taught me to roller skate.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was... The others were not born there. We were brought from all over the United States and Europe. I believe, now the children all were from California. But outside of that, I don't believe there was anybody there that was born in California. I could be wrong. It may be a piece of information that I don't know. But Hollywood was like a village. You couldn't go to the Broadway department store that was there in Hollywood, or to the cleaners, or to a gas station, or any place hardly that you didn't see a movie star. And so I'm very jaded. There isn't a movie star in the world that I will walk across the street to get an autograph of. But that's how I was taught. That was drilled into my head. You don't interrupt these people, my mother would say. They have a right to a life, too. So if you see them in a restaurant, which we used to go to the Brown Derby all the time, and unless someone walks up and talks to you, you do not address them. You do not disturb them. It was considered gauche. It was considered rude. Because they had a right to eat, they had a right to buy their groceries, they had a right to go to the department store, to the Five and Dime that was on Hollywood Boulevard. In fact, I worked there when I was in high school. Later on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, it was just a budding community, really. A lot of people lived there. But I later went to high school at John Marshall, which was just down from the Glen Park, which is where the Hollywood sign is. Across the mountain there.
Yes.
And it was a community all to itself.
Yes.
So I know that's hard sometimes for people to understand. That I would no ask for anybody's autograph. Now I might, if I was standing in line today with somebody that I really admired at a grocery store, I might buy a magazine and turn around and say, would you sign this?
Yes.
But I would not chase them down. This goes against everything my mother taught me.
It puts people's life very much, I think, in perspective when you think of it at that time. And if honestly, if people could handle themselves to the way that you were taught many years ago, and you know, people could go to Hollywood today and sit down at a restaurant, and the movie star or whoever would be there, and they wouldn't be run off to, or they could actually eat their dinner, and maybe someone would say hello, nice to see you here, but not be too intensely trying to get their autograph. I think that if that were so, that I think many of them would still be out to sit down in a restaurant publicly.
Yeah, when they get really big, like some of the bankable stars.
Yes.
They can no longer go to a restaurant. They can no longer go out and shop. They can't do anything without a disguise, and oftentimes the disguise doesn't work.
Right.
One of my daughters was telling me that DiCaprio,
Yes.
he walked in front of her car on Rodeo Road one day. And she was with her husband, so she was in the passenger seat. She was pinching her husband's leg, saying, look! You know, but she never made a scene of any kind that he was aware of.
Really?
I told her, I said, I'm proud of you. Anybody else would have jumped out of the car and tackled him.
Right.
To get an autograph.
That's right.
You know, but they still all live in California.
I was also wondering if you could explain, a lot of people obviously have seen that Warner Brothers had re-released The Wizard of Oz last year and restored the movie and had a wonderful screening for it at the Motion Picture Arts and Sciences last fall in October. I hope that, were you in attendance at that?
No, in fact, I have my invitation up on the wall here.
Okay.
But I didn't get to go to it. But that's all right. I didn't get to go to the one in 1939 either.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't get an invitation to go to it. My mother was very angry because, now I don't know if the other kids didn't go. I'm assuming that they didn't, unless they paid to see it later. But my mother would not pay to see the film because we had been overlooked. And she said the reason we were overlooked was because MGM had deliberately not let it be known that there were any children in it. And when John Fricke, Bill Stillman, and Jay Scarfone wrote the first book at the I think it was the 25th anniversary after the film.
Yes.
They were the ones that said they thought there were children in it, but they weren't sure. And so anyway, I did get an invitation, but I didn't get an airplane ticket. I didn't get arrangements to stay, and if you have ever been in Beverly Hills, you know what it costs. And there was no way, being I was in it, that I was going to pay for that. I felt they owed it to me.
I'm very sorry. I honestly, I think that everyone that was involved should have been in with that to see it.
No, as a matter of fact, there were several people. I called Warner Brothers, and I said I had a hand-delivered invitation, but did you forget that I need to get there and that I need hotel arrangements and so on and so forth if this invitation is real? And they said, well, we can't really afford it. So what they did is they invited only those who lived the closest. Jerry Marin lives in Hollywood now.
Yes.
Margaret Pellegrini lives in Arizona.
Yes.
And I don't know whether Clarence and Myrna Swinson were there or not. But they live close too. I live clear on the west, in the mid-Atlantic states.
Yes.
So, from what I understand, those who live further out in the United States were not invited.
Very sad.
There was not everyone there.
Wow.
And I don't believe that any of the children were invited. They might have gotten an invitation, but that was it.
Yes, wow. Now you are, so everyone will know, you are referring to last year when they re-released it with the DVD, correct?
Yes, and that's the one thing that they did do for me. Within a week of the invitation and my phone call saying, did you forget something? They said, MGM just can't afford to do this. You know, there's too many of you. Well, yeah, there's 9 of us that attend regularly all of the festivals and things. And
yes.
particularly the one in Chesterton, which is the big one.
Yes, that's right.
She said, we just simply cannot afford it, but you'll be getting something in the mail. So what they did is they mailed me my free copy of the new release. And so we had a big party here at the house and invited some of the people from the capital of West Virginia.
Wow.
That work in the State House.
Wonderful.
they came out here, particularly all the women who love The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
They came out here, and we had popcorn and soda and sat on pillows. In fact, the pillows a girlfriend of mine made, and they were made of blue and white checks. They were sitting on Dorothy's skirt.
Oh boy, that's interesting.
We had a good time.
That's great.
We had a great time.
That's great. I think that's great.
The comments that I got were, "Oh, I don't think this is good as the original." And I said, "For heaven's sake, why not?" And she said, "Because look at the lion's tail. You can see the wire that's moving the tail back and forth. In the original, you couldn't see that, so it was more magical."
Oh, boy. Oh. Well, I think that Warner Brothers did a wonderful job with how they did it, and
oh, they did.
I do. I love, personally, I saw it, and I could not wait till it came out, and and especially with all the features that they put on there, I was so dying to see those, because I absolutely love them, and of course, John Fricke and many of the others were a part of the screening, and so much of what had been going on in the past few years. Yes, and I spoke to him because I'm friends with him, and I spoke to him, and I told him, that about that movie. I can't wait to see it, and of course, it was coming up soon to the release of the movie. So when it was going to come on DVD again last year, and he said to me, "Aaron, you're really gonna love it. It's almost three-dimensional."
Yeah,
and
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And
it was just, I thought it was kind of cute that she said, "It was more magical when I didn't see his tail move."
Yeah, your friend. That's very funny.
But it's so clear, so crystal clear, and it does. It just kind of comes out of the television at you.
I think so, yes.
But she could see that wire on the end of the tail. And in the original, it wasn't that clear. So they must have done a wonderful job to see the wire.
Yes, very much, very much.
How often do you get asked the question, who hung in the tree? Which Munchkin hung themselves?
No one's asked me that question. When I look for the information and the things that I'm trying to go ahead with my site, I usually ask the professionals the question. Would be Kurt Raymond, Master Oz Impressionist. I'm friends with him. He works with Elaine Horn professionally in California. I speak to John Fricke and I ask him questions, but a lot of the knowledge that I've personally gotten, I've read in the books that those guys have written, and or speak to them. But I personally, I think last year found out the truth that there wasn't anything, and it was just a bird walking. Yeah. Is that correct?
Just a bird wing.
Okay. Okay.
But I must get that question 100 times a month. And they write it, I have a thing on there, it says, letters to the wizard. And they can ask any question they want or make any comment they want. And after I printed the first one with the answer, I no longer print those. I just write back and give them, because there's 3 different places in my website that talks about that rumor.
Yes.
Several rumors about the conduct of the little people not being what it should. The hanging of somebody in the tree, and a few other things that they ask, that it's just over and over and over and over that I get asked those questions.
Yes.
Wow. And I'm sorry to say I lose patience with it.
Yes.
Because I think that's been, probably by you, is on your site, that it didn't happen. Is it not?
Well, I didn't think I put anything on my site about anything with that, okay. So, but I know
there's other sites that have, it didn't happen. I think Jim's website.
Right, yeah, I saw that. In fact, I probably should have something on my site real soon to mention that never happened, but I think that people that listen to this is directly from Donna Stewart-Hardway, who was on the Wizard of Oz many years ago, and you can hear directly from her that is a rumor, and no one really died, and it was just a bird wing, so, yes.
There were quite a few exotic animals on that set, which most people don't know.
Wow. Do you mind if you want to mention some of what those were?
There were different kinds of birds. There were flamingos, there were cranes, there were storks. We had ducks, which I don't think I would call an exotic. But there were other ground animals. But you never saw them. They were in the background. But I do know that I was told by Mervyn LeRoy
Yes.
that they spent a lot of money on exotic animals.
Wow.
And I don't think we can call Toto an exotic animal.
No, of course not.
If you ever get the chance and haven't read it yet, read the book called I, Toto by Willard Carroll.
Yes.
It's written anthropomorphically in that the dog does all the talking.
Oh, really?
It's adorable. He tells when he was born and where he was born and how he came to be a movie star and about the films that he made. And he is buried under the Ventura Freeway in Los Angeles now.
Huh. Wow, I didn't even actually ever hear of there was an area where that little dog was born, so wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah. It's, his name is Terry.
Yes.
And it's Willard Carroll, who, by the way, lives in the Hollywood Hills.
Yes.
You talk about a collection.
Yes. Oh. I think it's an amazing collection. I personally think everyone that saw and that has seen the DVD by now has seen on the documentary, The Legacy of Oz, of his collection, and I think people can have a first-hand experience on what of a small part of what he actually has that's very large. So I think that's amazing what he's been doing.
He's an amazing person.
Yes. And I'm sure you're friends with him.
We're going to have a new film coming out that was filmed in India here shortly.
Oh yes, I heard mention of that, so that's exciting. I think one final question I will ask you is, let's say that the time that you were just finishing with The Wizard of Oz and they were about to release it in the theaters, if you could have known years and years later up to this point in 2006 that, especially last year with the movie being restored and the popularity that it has gotten with Warner Brothers, with John Fricke and all the things that he's been able to do, and of course with Chesterton and even that you come basically yearly up to Beach Mountain to the wonderful Land of Oz Park up in North Carolina. If you actually could comprehend that those things were going on with the movie and with you personally, what do you think that you would have thought back then?
What I think what?
What do you think you would have thought back then?
I'd rather be home playing.
Really?
Honey, I was 6 years old. I didn't ask to be there.
Yes.
And in the beginning of this interview, you asked me how I came to be in the film.
Yes.
I don't know. Because what child looks at their mother on a soundstage and scaring you to death and says, "How did I get here?"
Yes.
I don't know. I can tell you Sue Carroll, who was my agent and married to Alan Ladd. I can tell you that Mervyn LeRoy and his wife were friends with my parents. I can tell you I was a Meglin kitty, just like Judy Garland and Shirley Temple and Mickey Rooney and Ann Miller and a lot of other people.
Yes.
I can tell you I was a member of the Children's Screen Guild. I can tell you I was in the first Hollywood parade for Christmas that there ever was. And in the next 3 or 4 that took place. But I can't tell you how I ended up on the MGM studio. That may not make any sense, but there were so many avenues, and I never thought to ask my mother. And when I was approached, I worked in a hospital here for years and retired.
Yes.
So I was 65 years old at that point.
Yes.
And I get a phone call one day from Bill Stillman, who was in the process of writing another book about Oz as an aficionado. And he asked who I was, and he said, "Were you in The Wizard of Oz?" And I said, "Yeah, but how did you know that?"
Oh.
And he proceeded to tell me, and he had gotten it from newspaper articles and from the library in Beverly Hills that has to do with the arts and sciences. And it took him a good year and a half, close to 2 years, to talk me even into coming to a convention for the International Wizard of Oz Club. And my reason, look, Bill, I was 6 years old. I wasn't there because I wanted to be. You can't even find me. All I did was hold up trees and stand behind bushes because MGM didn't want us to be seen. We spent most of our time in the little houses behind. According to the contract that the little people had with their agent, nobody else could do anything without MGM violating that contract. So we were filling space. We were walk-ons. That's all we were. And Bill said, "Just come once. And you will find out that just because you were there, just because you were a walk-on, just because you lived in Hollywood, people will love you. They'll want your autograph. They'll want to talk to you about your experiences." And you know what? He was right. And I'll tell you something as an ending to this, which I think is an appropriate ending to this interview.
Yes.
I have never enjoyed my life more than the shining faces on the children who come sit in my lap and their parents take pictures.
That's wonderful.
What?
That's wonderful.
Well, it's a part of the fabric of our society now.
Yes.
And so, here I am. And as long as people want to see me, and as long as my health holds out, I will be there.
That's wonderful.
Because I love them all. And they are the reason I'm there. It's not I'm there because I want to be there.
Yes. And that's a wonderful...
They're the ones who put this in motion. And thank God they did.
Yes. Right. That's a wonderful way to live. And I will mention, as I do mention, I'm a Christian, and that is how Jesus sees his children, with compassion and for care, and to do things for those who truly love the Lord. And I don't mean to speak boldly about that, but I do want to mention that because...
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And I see that in a comparison, and it is like you want to do things for the children, and that's how Jesus is. He cares for the children and his sheep.
Come to me.
Yes.
Let the little children come to me, because they tried to stop him. And he don't. Let the little children come to me.
That's right. Absolutely. Yes, well, I can tell, and I'm sure that you're a Christian, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, well...
Very, very strong.
Very much good. Well, praise the Lord for that. It's very important to keep your faith in the Lord and the Lord Jesus. In the entertainment industry, I think for many it's very hard, and I'm very honored to hear you say that.
Being a Christian today is not easy.
That's right.
We have all kinds of terrible things going on in the world. Our entertainment is certainly not Oz. And I don't even go to theaters most of the time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing out there that's worth looking at nor listening to. And I have a pretty clean mouth and a pretty clean mind, and I mind my own business. But my business is also Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't have a better business.
That's right. That's right. It's wonderful. Well, I thank you very much for sharing your wonderful stories about your time spent on The Wizard of Oz in 1939.
You're entirely welcome.
Yes, thank you. And again, this has been Donna Stewart-Hardway, one of the original Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz movie, and it's a pleasure to have spoken with you and to interview you for my website today. So thank you.
Welcome.